This conference will now be recorded.
Now, so the meeting's starting at 7 o'clock, and everybody is on who needs to be on. Anyone else who wishes to join us later, they can clearly do so. Everyone knows their own emergency exits. If not, you can check them out and come back. And I ask for any expressions of conflicts of interest, pecuniary interest in particular, and that can be declared now or at any time among committee members, not you, Larry, obviously. And hearing none, I'll go on to approval of the agenda for this evening. Has anybody got anything they wish to amend or add to the agenda?
No, I'm happy to move that we approve it.
So Susan, Bob McRae has moved adoption of the minutes of the last meeting, and Jerry Reed has seconded it. Thank you very much, Susan, for especially on your page 3 where you sorted out that complicated paragraph and did so very admirably. Thank you for that. Oh, that's not the agenda, that's in the minutes. So are there any amendments or changes to the minutes? Hearing none, motion to adopt?
I'll bring the motion to adopt.
Was that Corinne? Motion to
Yes.
adopt, seconded by Brenda. All in favor? Seeing none opposed? Thank you very much. Susan, again, thank you for that work you provided us. So moving on to the application to be discussed this evening. This is application D05-22. I think the 22 means that it's been around for a little while. So I'm glad we're moving on this, and we can do this in an expedited way. I just wanted to let everybody, all the committee members know, as I hope you all do, that by email, in addition to the package of material sent to you all, there was a hot link sent by Susan to the application itself and to comments from OMAFRA and to a set of comments from the County of Dufferin. Did everybody get those all right?
Yes.
That's excellent. Very good. So we all are working with a full deck. And with that said, I think perhaps I will ask Mr. Trotman, our planner, to comment first in any way you wish, and to speak especially to your planning report and to the recommendations of your planning report. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Chair Riley. Good evening, everyone. I see this application is quite straightforward. Larry has a small piece of land at the corner, southwest corner of County Road 10, Highway 10. He's been running a engine repair and supporting associated measure and operation business there for some time. I don't know when you started, Larry, but I know it's been there a while. And he's kind of run into the enviable problem of his business going well and needing more room to expand the business and also provide more on-site inventory and parking area for the business. He owns, so that's the 286270 County Road 10 right at the corner, but he also owns the abutting parcel in behind, which is the cropland parcel, about 97, almost 98 acres. And he wants to create a merger, a severance and a merger, to take a parcel of that land, of the bigger parcel, and merge it with the repair business parcel right at the corner, so that he can accomplish the needs he has to fulfill for an ongoing and expanding business. It serves a variety of clients across the region, but also including agro and agricultural related operations and clients. I need not go into the details, but there's an array of services and equipment and even small equipment that he provides to the farming industry. So it's very much related and supportive. The piece that would be severed is prime agricultural and designated, and it's zoned rural A. The piece at the corner has a rural A6 special that permitted the business. And if committee sees fit, which I certainly would expect they do, to approve this application, that new parcel that merges with the subject property address would have to also be followed by what I see as administrative zoning amendment to put the A6 zoning on the merged parcel. I've explained that to his good applicant, Lori Haddock, and she's aware of that. It's in the report. We got comments deliberately from OMAFRA that alluded, of course, to the provincial policy statement policy that allows for minor modifications. I've cited it in the report. I've had nobody come forward as part of circular and say, I've got a problem with this. That was foreseeable from the get-go. It's in an area that's really, I don't want to say isolated, but stands alone in terms of away from residential areas. There's a few properties at the north, but just a few. And I've also alluded to their existence in my report. I see absolutely no impact at all. The business has been there a while. We've never had any complaints. And the recommendation that I cited in there supports all of what I said. That committee, consider approving this lot boundary adjustment subject to the conditions that are in there. They're standard. The only caveat that I've noted is that if Larry needs further entrances on the expanded parcel, he'd have to seek those entrance permit requirements from the Dufferin County Public Works, as County Road 10 is a county road. We got no comments, not surprising at all from MTO, because there's no impact. There's an existing intersection there. The lot boundary doesn't affect anything MTO would require to respond or comment on. That's it. It's a straightforward application for a lot boundary adjustment in my view.
Thank you very much. Could I ask Larry and Lori whether or not there's anything they wish to add at this particular time, and let us know, for example, whether you've had a chance to review these conditions and that these conditions are acceptable, workable for you.
Yeah, the conditions are fine. It's not, we want to work and make it happy for everyone. It's great that his business is expanding, and it's going to be a lot safer with this because we'll be able to get the trucks that are delivering stuff off the road, and to be able to deliver right now, just to come into park as a customer to pick up your chainsaw is like playing chess because they're so busy. They employ 14 people, 14?
Yeah, enough.
And plus Larry and Ann, and they're hoping with the growth of the business that they're looking at maybe hiring 3 or 4 more. So it's a benefit for everybody all around. And I don't think there's very many people in Mono that don't know both Larry and I, because we've been here for 100 years. And I'm sure most of them frequent his business or, need something. He's always there. So like I said, we wanted to do it properly and legally. So this is where we are, and we're putting our hopes that you guys will see fit to just put this together, and then we can follow the next application to fix the zoning so that everything's done nice and legal and quick.
Thank you very much.
No, I have nothing to add other than, been serving the community for a long time, and
basically, our parking lot hasn't grown since 35 years ago, and it's time for me to get some more parking area.
I quite agree. Anyway, by the way, congratulations. You're both centenarians. So that's, you've been here 100 years. I'm extremely impressed with how fit you are.
Maybe Lori has been. I haven't quite been here that
Well,
long.
our family's been here for a lot of years.
Could I go around the virtual table and ask committee members for any comments or questions they may have? Could we start perhaps with you, Brenda?
I have no questions, and I'm very happy to support this application. And it's wonderful that there's still small businesses thriving. There's so many are not.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. Corinne? Can you hear me, Corinne?
I have no questions and I agree with, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, we can hear you now.
Great. I have no questions. I fully support this application and just like Brenda's comments, totally agree. Larry, your business has supported this community for quite some time, and we very much look forward to you serving this community for many more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry?
Yeah, so I agree, 100%. Good application, well done. I have one question for Dave Trotman though. I see that Larry Small Engines had to give $8,000, 2 checks worth $8,000, and I wonder if that's really necessary in this kind of an application. Larry has owned and his family have owned the farm forever, sort of thing. It's pretty near like buying land. But I certainly agree with the application. I have nothing with that.
Just to clarify, the application and deposit fee were the amounts that everyone has to put forth, Jerry, to undergo application review. No different here. Some have more complexity than others, I grant you that, but there's a precedent there. If I haven't the ability to waive a fee for anyone, and that would set a precedent. So that's standard.
Well, Jerry,
I still think
go ahead,
I
Jerry.
still think that a question should maybe go to council. I don't know that we should be just setting these kind of things as a standard cost, and I appreciate that's what it is, but it seems a little exorbitant for someone that's owned the land forever and is just trying to help the community out, which Larry is doing. Anyway, I support the application 100%.
Thanks, Jerry. Even if we can't see you, we thank you.
That's good. I don't break the camera then.
Thank you.
Bob, any comments or questions?
Just that I support this application completely. It's nice to see a local mono business growing, particularly one that in our rural area, who doesn't have some kind of a machine or whatever with a small engine. And full disclosure, years ago, I brought up a push lawn tractor up to your place and you fixed it. So I'm happy to support this. And John, after you've said your words, I'm happy to move that we approve this.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Yes, I completely agree that this is a compatible farm-related business in Prime Ag. It's the right thing to have happen. And I agree with Jerry that, $8,000, that does seem a little steep when there really is no development involved. So that, there's no real significant increase to the mono tax base, property tax base through, construction of a residence or anything like that. So for a turnaround for a 16-wheeler, it does seem steep. And if Jerry, you wish to suggest later a motion to that effect to just raise the matter and have that passed forward to council for consideration, I will come back to that a possibility after we have dealt with this.
Can I just
Uh,
clarify, John,
Yes,
with David, if he's still around? Is David still with us? He is.
David's still with us. He's on the line.
Two separate application fees, right? One was for the application and the other was for any things that the
Yeah,
town
it's a
may
fee
have.
and deposit, correct. Fee and
So one
deposit,
refundable and,
correct. One has a refundable, save any cost we may have, but that's, there's a deposit and fee component to the overall fee.
So where do you think it will net out?
well, the town
Well,
hasn't done too much.
that remains to be seen, John. We, you know, if there's legal work that still needs to be done as part of the merger, that has to be done. So I'm not going to weigh in on, I haven't done a tally of invoice at that point. We may still need an invoice from the town solicitor for legal work to do the common ownership agreement to merge them. So what Larry had to pay or put forward as fee and deposit has been standard all the while through all meetings at committee we've ever had.
Yeah, I'm just giving the opportunity to committee member to voice their
Nope,
opinion.
that's
if
fine.
so wish.
That's fine. We will be looking at our fees though under Bill 109, and they are going to have to go up, not down, for all the reasons we're all well aware of. But
Well,
that's another matter for another day.
That's very interesting discussion you're going to have, given that the province has indicated that they'd like them to go down. But
Yeah.
So with that said, I just comment in passing that I did not particularly appreciate the comments from the county of Dufferin with regard to the natural heritage values of features adjacent or nearby to this particular site, in as much as we've just gone through quite a lengthy and detailed discussion with the county about them deferring to the county, to the town of Mono's more detailed mapping of natural heritage features. And in that study, a hedgerow does not constitute a natural heritage feature. So I just want that for the record to show that that is a consideration that I put forward with respect to the comment from the county of Dufferin.
Okay, we never seen the county comments, so
Oh,
we're kind of sitting here at a loss.
there you go. Well, if you want to be amused sometime, by all means, go ahead. That being said, I think Bob has expressed interest in moving a resolution to adopt the recommendation that Mr. Trotman has laid out on pages 4 and 5 of his planning report, the 4 conditions attending on approval of this consent application.
Jerry Reed, I'll second.
And Jerry Reed has seconded that. Susan, if you've got that, and all those in favor?
Yes.
Everyone's in favor. That's excellent. Job well done. Thank you very much, Lori and Larry, for attending tonight, and glad to see those trucks off the road there. They do have a little delicate dance at the present time, and especially the big ones. It's
Yeah, it's kind of full in here.
We really appreciate guys hearing us and being so supportive too. It makes a big difference.
very good. So that is done and dusted, as the saying goes. And with that, we'll go on to Any other business that any other committee member may wish to raise at this juncture?
John, let me, I wasn't going to bring this up during the application because I didn't want to draw that out. I just want to support what you said about the comments from the Dufferin County. And that I read this, I printed it off, and my first reaction was, what the? I just, at Dufferin County, I could say a lot of things about Dufferin County, but I just think it's absurd. So I support what you said.
Well, I think they have new planners. I mean, planners for the very first time in the history of the county of Dufferin. So hopefully their edges will soften and be more supportive of local land use planning as they go forward. And I don't think Mr. Trotman needs to reply to the county regarding their comments. They asked for no reply along those lines.
No, I saw them as very generalized comments, and most particularly those from Dufferin County Planning. They alluded to policy that would or could apply, but in this case just didn't. So
that's right. So with that said, I did tell Jerry that I would return to the matter of whether or not he wanted to bring forward a resolution that might note your concerns about the fees attendant on this kind of activity. Jerry, I'll turn it over to you to think about whether you might want to do that and whether or not you want to seek someone to second it.
Yeah, I just think that from a township or anybody's perspective, to say yes, that's just a standard fee, and we don't look at it. I don't think we can do business like that. We can't do business as private businesses, so why should government? And in an application like this, it's not like we're going to have a bunch of parkland or have a bunch of other stuff. It was a straightforward application, and that the applicant owned both pieces of property. And it just seemed a little exorbitant to me. If we really are serious about expanding business in Mona Township and looking after the planning and stuff, if we slap somebody with an $8,000 bill every time they come to the office for that kind of a thing, it certainly isn't conducive to expanding a business or anything else. And I know in this particular case, Mr. Wilson has used a lot of co-op students. He employs a lot of people. We obviously are doing business and have a tax base with him. He's supporting the local community, and it just seemed exorbitant to me. That's all. So I would like the council to be aware of that for sure. And so I don't know what kind of a motion that we could put forward to do that, but and if anyone else is interested in that,
how might we craft that into a sentence which politely asks council to consider those charges as they go forward to review their development charges as a whole in the town, where there could and should be flexibility exercised around particular small non-development oriented applications. Something like that?
there's something like that for sure.
is this going to be a committee of adjustment recommendation?
But he's,
Well, yes, it's just it would be just something to pass on to council from the Committee of Adjustment.
that's not what he's saying. He's not telling them.
Okay, I see that more as a planning committee matter. It's not a committee of adjustment matter, but I think too, before you do that, you need to bear in mind it's a fee and deposit system, so that development, and I'm mindful of the fact that there's development with a capital D and development with a small d, pays their share. It doesn't come out of the tax base, number one. So that's why we have a fee and deposit system.
no one
I think
has-
the other thing
has
to
said
keep in mind, is that Bill 109, as we've discussed at Plan Committee, has ramifications for fees, and I'm not going to weigh into that here now. And Bill 23 has more significant ramifications to development charges that I won't weigh into right now either. We're mindful of the fee and deposit system we've got set up, and I think the fee and deposit system works pretty good. And it's served the town pretty well. I get your point, Jerry, about smaller business and, you know, the encumbrance of fees. And there's no magic bullet. There's a fine balance between, you know, how much of a fee, how less of a fee, and the same with the deposit system.
Well,
But
before you go on, David,
we're
with
pretty
much
good so
length,
far.
let's see whether or not there is a seconder for
Sure.
Jerry's resolution. Would someone like to echo Jerry's words?
I agree with Jerry. However, I think it's everyone, the fees are exorbitant. And if everybody has to pay it, so be it. There's nothing we can really do about it.
I agree with Brenda there, and I do agree with Jerry. But for example, a few years ago, my neighbor down the road from me came to Committee of Adjustment because they wanted to put a new shed on their property. It exceeded the maximum building lot area, and they were required to pay these fees. And we can argue whether they're onerous or not, but they paid them, and others have also paid them. Given that fees are going to change, and that I don't think we can move a resolution to council. This discussion is recorded.
That to me as chair, Bob, but I take it that you're not going to second it. And
No.
Corinne,
I would not second. I would agree, just based on what David was saying, that it's also a deposit system. Certain applications require more work to be done by the township, and so that there would be some refund on the back end for certain applications that were less involved or required less expertise to be done to them. As much as I would love to say that we should be, lessening fees and alleviating people of these costs, I also don't want to see that the entire township have to take on the burden of paying additional taxes as a result of lessened fees. So I would also rely on the ability to receive monies back if there was less work done on a specific application. I would not support a motion.
thank you, Corinne. So Jerry, you wouldn't be carrying a vote even if you had a seconder. So notwithstanding my sympathy and other people's sympathy with your expression, I think we'll just leave it at that. It will appear in the minutes of the meeting. And Jerry, I thank you for that.
No, that's fine. I just thought it was worth the discussion, that people are aware of what the costs really are, because small businesses nowadays are having trouble to keep going as it is, let alone something like that. So that's fine. And I appreciate it. I didn't ever mean that there shouldn't be anything or whatever. That I thought there maybe should be some discretion at the township level, and I'm sure there is with the refunds. So that's fine.
yes.
Jerry, if I may add, I am very cognizant of small business. Small business employs people locally. It balances the tax base. And I have said to anyone who's interested in coming to Mono as a business. It's priority. You can call me at night. You can call me on the weekend. If you need to discuss something, I make it one of my big priorities. And it's the other reason I carefully preserve and try to foster the overall business dynamic that exists in the Coles French Drive Industrial Park.
Well, that's, I think we've covered this
So
topic well enough.
It's a huge priority for me, Gary, just so you know.
Thank you. So with that, before we adjourn, just because this has gone around the table, Larry and Lori, I thank you again for tuning in. And if you have any parting shots, now's your time for it. Otherwise, I'll ask for a motion of adjournment.
No, we thank you very much again for listening to us, and we look forward to this moving forward.
Thank you very much, all.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
I will. Brenda,
I see Brenda
Second.
moving that, seconded by Corinne. All in favor, seeing no one opposed. We call the meeting concluded. Thank you all.
Have a good night.
good night.
Good night.
Good night.